Okay, so, you know, everybody loves a little motivational boost every now and then, right?
Right.
And you sent us this speech called Rise to Your Potential.
Hmm.
And, I thought it would be fun to take a deep dive into it.
Yeah.
See if we could pull out some actual, like, usable advice
Sure.
from this thing.
Yeah.
Instead of just like the typical rah-rah, you can do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so one of the first things that kind of jumped out at me in this speech was this idea of, like, dancing in the rain.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
have you ever, like, found yourself just kind of sitting around
Uh-huh.
and, like, waiting for a problem to go away?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's gonna magically fix itself,
All the time. Yeah.
And it's just like, no, you gotta figure something
You
out.
just got to do it, right?
Yeah.
You just got to take it head on.
So what do you think about this whole dancing in the rain idea?
Well, I think it's a mindset.
Okay.
So much of this is about mindset.
Yeah.
And it's like, problems are going to happen. Yeah.
Obstacles are gonna happen in life,
Mhm.
but how do you approach it?
Right.
I mean, are you gonna sit there and just be miserable and wait for it to go away?
Right.
Or are you gonna figure out a way to work through it?
To get through it.
To
Yeah.
get through it. And in fact, maybe even
Yeah.
grow from it, right?
Right.
It's an opportunity.
So how do you actually do that? Like what does that even look like?
Well, I mean, one thing is you can focus on what you can control.
Okay.
You can't control the rain, you can't control,
Yeah.
necessarily all the circumstances that come your way,
Mhm.
but you can control how you react.
Right.
And so, if you find yourself facing a challenge, it's like, what can I learn from this?
Oh, that's good.
What skills can I develop?
Yeah.
How can I use this experience
Yeah.
to become more resilient?
Yeah. Yeah. Instead of just like letting it totally crush you.
Right. Okay. So moving on,
Mm.
this speech also talks a lot about, like, inner strength
Yeah.
and potential.
Yeah, that was a big theme.
It even says something like, you are capable of more than you think you are.
Mm.
But I got to say, I don't always feel that way.
Well, that's fair. Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't feel that capable.
But I think that's where this idea of
Yeah.
self-efficacy comes in,
Okay. So,
which is this idea of like believing in your ability to accomplish things.
okay.
And
So it's like believing in yourself.
believing in yourself to do something,
Gotcha.
to achieve a goal.
Hmm.
And the cool thing is self-efficacy is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
Oh, I like that.
So you got to keep exercising it.
So how do you work that muscle out?
Well, I think you start small,
Okay.
you set achievable goals,
Mm-hmm.
and you celebrate those successes, even the small ones.
Yeah.
Don't downplay those.
Right.
Because each time you accomplish something,
Yeah.
it reinforces that belief in yourself.
Oh, I like that. That's good. That's good.
It reinforces it. Yeah.
Okay, now this is where it starts to get really interesting to me
Okay.
because the speech brings up Thomas Edison,
Oh, yeah.
the light bulb guy.
I light bulb, yeah.
And it basically says that he didn't fail 1,000 times.
Right.
He found 1,000 ways it didn't work.
Right. Yeah.
And I thought that was
I love that.
such a cool way to think about setbacks.
Yeah.
It just kind of reframes
But it totally reframes
the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, if he had given up after
Right.
like the first 100 or so,
Yeah.
we'd all still be sitting around in the dark.
Right. Exactly. We wouldn't have the light bulb.
So have you ever, like, had a moment where you just wanted to give up on something, but you pushed through?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of,
Yeah.
part of life, right? Like there are times where
You just want to throw in the towel.
I'm gonna throw in the towel
Yeah.
and it's just like, "Ugh, I'm done with this." But it's like, sometimes
Yeah.
you gotta remember those stories like Edison.
Yeah.
Or even just like, times that you overcame challenges in the past.
Right.
And it gives you that extra little push to keep going.
Totally. Totally. Okay. Speaking of pushing yourself,
Yeah.
the speech also talks about, like, running your own race
Oh, yeah.
and not comparing yourself to other people,
Mm-hmm.
which is so much easier said than done.
Oh, I know. Especially in the age of social media.
Oh,
Gosh.
yeah.
Just like
it's so easy to get caught up in the comparison game.
You open up your phone and you're like, ugh, everyone's doing so great.
Right. Like, everyone's life is perfect except yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just like, you have to remind yourself that that's not reality.
Yeah.
That's a very curated version. Right, it's their highlight reel.
Highlight reel.
Right.
And so this speech is kind of reminding us that, like
Yeah.
success is about defining what matters to you.
Right.
What are your goals? What brings you fulfillment?
Yeah, and not necessarily
Yeah.
what society says is successful.
Right. Exactly.
Or what, so-and-so is doing on Instagram.
Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, who cares?
Okay, so we're getting near the end here.
Okay.
And the speech kind of finishes up with this big message about, like, embracing your greatness, believing in your ability to achieve great things.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think it's a good reminder, that we all have potential waiting to be unlocked.
Yeah.
But I also think it's important to be realistic.
Uh-huh.
I mean, greatness doesn't happen overnight.
Right, right.
And it doesn't always look the way we expect it to. Sometimes it's about just
Yeah.
small, consistent progress towards a goal that really matters to you.
Right, right.
That's real success, I think.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like this huge, massive,
Right.
like world-changing thing.
Yeah.
It could just be like improving your own life
Right.
or your family's life or your community's life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we're going to like sum all this up, it sounds like this speech is all about like
Uh-huh.
embracing challenges,
Yeah.
building self-belief, learning from your setbacks,
But absolutely.
and, focusing on your own unique path.
That's it. Yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah. So you don't have to wait for like the
Yeah.
perfect moment or whatever to start taking action. You can just
Just start today.
start today.
Start small.
Start small.
Small steps lead to big changes.
Small steps lead to big changes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a question for you to think about.
Okay.
What's one thing you can do today, right now, to move just a little bit closer
Yeah.
to your full potential?
Mm-hmm.
Like what's one tiny little step you can take?
Right.
Write it down. Make a plan
Love it.
and get started. You are capable of more than you think.